Hello, hello, hello. This is Ella Dashanaba King, and I am your host for Queen Mother Speaks Talk Show. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Wonderful Wednesday. Welcome to Wonderful You. We are in the beginning of our fourth year, and our theme for this particular season is Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. So, courage is the secret sauce that allows you to act despite your fears. I take this moment to give a shout out to Solo and Geneva in Florida. There is Kathy King, Rosemary Johnson, Marilyn Lewis, all tuning in to the Queen Mother Speak Show from Florida. Thank you for tuning in. Both, let's see, Nana will not be in studio today. Her daughter is getting married. Enjoy that wedding, Nana. We'll hear about it. Hopefully, we'll get to see some pictures on the show. But we do have Coach Ra in studio. She'll come in and say hello in just a moment. I'd like to also give a shout out to our faithful fans out of Atlanta, Georgia, Lady Mo, Abimbola, Tina Jones, Ernestine Marie Powell, High Priestess A Shot. We have Melissa Kemp, Carmen, and Michelle. You can tune in to Queen Mother Speak Show right now just by clicking on facebook.com/Queen Mother Speaks. Hit that like, share, comment button. Our guests today in the studio are two very young Maasai entrepreneurs, and they are holding up their part of the sky in a very special way. Let's see who's in studio today.
Good morning, everyone. Greetings, blessings, and salutations to everyone. Peace and blessings. May I remind you that smudging your home, detoxifying your home, is a very critical ingredient these days, particularly with the pathogens and the viruses that is running rampant. It is very important that one must maintain order and cleanliness and exercise certain rituals and routines in order that you will be breathing fresh air as much as possible. Back to
All
you,
right.
Queen.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Coach Ra. Coach Ra will be observing the show today. She won't be actually taking part, but she will be observing. Of course, if there's any questions or any comments she wants to make, she knows that she's free to do that. Let's see who's in studio today. Sir, tell us your name.
Hello everyone, my name is MAISON NKURRUNAH. It's a good evening from Masai land, and I look forward to talking to you about poetry and the Masai people, and thank you for having me.
Oh, we're grateful that you're here. And we'll be talking about that young man a little bit more. Madame?
Oh, hello. My name is SERETI NABAALA. I'm so honored to be here, and I'll be glad to share more on girl child empowerment, women empowerment in Masai land. And I'm so happy, and I can't wait to share more with you people.
Very good. We're very happy that you're here. And it won't be very long until you find out who they are and what they're doing. I have no idea where that echo is coming from. We talked about it earlier, but it doesn't seem to be going away. Oh, as soon as I said that, it went away. I invite you to get relaxed and get ready for this awesome show we have for you today. I remind you to hit the like, share, and comment buttons. Blessings to our fans. Chantel, but these are people in here right here in Nairobi, Kenya. Bobby Paul, Lucy, Maurice, Tali out of Israel, Harvey Prince, Reverend Virginia, Pastor Michael, Flora Giles, all tuning into the Queen Mother Speak Show from Birmingham, Alabama, USA. And Birmingham happens to be my hometown. So I'm very happy to have guests tuning in. We want to remind you today to continue to wash your hands and be safe. Not because the government says so, but because it's the right thing to do. One good thing about pandemic is we learn about washing our hands even more and more and more. And we want to continue to ask you to keep up that habit of washing your hands and keeping your hands clean. We thank you for tuning in to the Queen Mother Speak Show, a safe space for information, expression, and inspiration. Okay, Bonga Dada Bonga. Now that's the new platform for women's voices. It started during July 2023 during the Kenya elections. Right now, Bonga Dada Bonga is on hold, and we will be bringing it back probably the first of the new year. Okay, so stay tuned for that. You can also catch us. Oh, I want to give a shout out to the Honorable Margaret Tolley, who is known as Kenya's gender champion, tuning into the show. Sharia, Rose Omwara, Anju, Jay Mwangi, Parita, Rose, and Estelle, all from Kenya, tuning into the Queen Mother Speaks show. What is Queen Mother Speaks? Well, we're a community platform and we deal with issues that matter. We're here to inform, to ignite, to invite. We're here to inspire you. As you're coming on this show, we will give you words of wisdom from the elders, and we have witty dialogue with our guests. And we also always bring you words of inspiration. So now, from the Art of Living Institute, we learned about them here in Kenya during the pandemic, and with them, we learned about the art of breathing, the art of breathing. And so we've now incorporated breath work into the Queen Mother Speaks show. So we're getting ready right now to do our breath work. And the way that works, and the people in the studio, please join me for this. The way the breath work works, it's like this, okay? We're going to breathe in to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold to the count of 6. And then you're going to release to the count of 10. So 6, 6, 10. Just before we go into our breathing, let me just take a moment and say hello to the people in the, I'm getting some new comments. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be coming back to you in a moment as soon as we complete with our breathing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And I want to say hello to Abimbola. Abimbola, Queen Mother want to say she loves you very much. And I'm just trying to find the right time to be on the phone with you. Thank you for tuning in. It makes me feel very good to have you here listening in. So everyone in the studio, Maison, okay? Also, we want everyone to do the breathing exercise with us. Remember, we're going to breathe in to the count of 6. Hold to the count of 6, and then release to the count of 10. Are we ready? Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. Breathe in. Hold. Release. Okay, let's hold. Let's try it again. Go. Okay, we're going to do one more breathing. And I'm going to ask you to really put yourself into it this time. Breathe in deeply, hold deeply, and release. When you blow out deeply but slowly to the count of 10. All right, one more, and here we go. Thank you. Thank you for that, okay? I hope you touched your inner peace. Breathing exercises can help you reduce your stress level by increasing your oxygen exchange. Breathing can also slow the heart and it releases tension that we often hold in our abdomen. All right. And these physical changes can affect you, but breathing can bring you into the present moment. Thank you for enjoying the breathing exercises with her. And as stated, the Art of Living Institute, located right here in Nairobi, Kenya. You can give them a call. They have all sorts of breathing classes for you. Okay. So in this moment, we're going to go to our meditation reading. And as we are today at the beginning of a new month, the month of November, this is the month for renunciation. So I'm going to read the meditation with you for today. Okay, I'm going to read the meditation and then I'm going to ask you to listen with your heart. In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was the Word. The Word gave life to the heavens and the earth. You were born out of that Word. It is indelible, it's imprinted and inscribed on your soul. Its fundamental structure carries and supports you through life. The Word, the WORD, is the foundation of spiritual principles, the principles of peace, the principles of love, wisdom, wealth, happiness, grace. These principles are all found in your spiritual DNA. When you forget, go back to the beginning. Go back to the fundamental structure of who you are as love. I go back to the beginning when I'm in question. I am assured that in the beginning, there was a plan and a purpose for my life. The Word steadies and grounds me as I make decisions. I reflect on the spiritual imprint and inscription of God's Word. And God's Word is a word called love, LOVE. I make corrections, I make adjustments, I reset myself. Thank you. Renunciation in me, as me, through me, and through the Christ within. And so it is. Our scripture reading for today is, and from the very beginning, thou hast laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens are the works of thy hand. That comes from Hebrews 1:10. Okay, so once again, as we're completing with our reading, our meditation for today, I just want to say to you that November is the month of release. So we focus our attention on the spiritual faculty of renunciation, renunciation, renunciation. What is renunciation? It's about the power to let go. Renunciate your mind, renunciate your body, expulge and just go on and release negative thinking. So this entire month of October is about releasing. Think about that. We're just on the first day. Think about the things in your life that you need to focus on releasing, whether it has to do with your food, which could some of it be toxic. It could be people, some of which could be toxic also in your life. It doesn't have to just be food and people. You can release a lot of things. You can release bad thoughts. You can release clothing, things that you know you can't wear no more, but that somebody else could use. Take it out of your closet and make it available to someone. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay, so right now we're going to go to our headline for today. And our headline is about a gentleman by the name of Dennis Mbugua. Dennis is a Kenyan. He was a former student of mine at USIU Africa. He took courses in business, marketing, management, and entrepreneurship. And guess what? One day, Dennis did graduate. And now he's been out in the world with his own business, Star Technologies. And as of late, he's actually become a independent software engineer. And that is the type of work that Dennis is doing. He is now joining our show with a new segment, something I hope that Mason will also be doing with the Queen Mother Speaks now, with the Queen Mother Speaks show. So right now, let's go to Dennis. Okay, and let's see if we can get it to play. Okay, we're pushing on the play button. Uh-oh, let's try here. Okay, we'll try once more to get it to play. It kept playing before the show, and I had to put it on hold, on mute. Let's see if we can get it to play now. Okay, it doesn't seem to be working. All right, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. We have it on the screen. This is the exact screen we want. Let's see here. To unmute it. Okay, play. See if we can. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to apologize. I cannot get the play button to play. Let's see what this will do. Nope. Okay, so we're just going to take it down because it's not doing what we wanted to do. Please excuse us for that. We will work on making it better. You know, one of the things interesting we said earlier inside of our reading, right? That we take time to learn, that we take time to figure out. Okay, so I'm so sorry that this isn't playing for us now, but let's just go ahead and take it from the screen. Okay, all right. I can't explain that, so we're just going to go right ahead for the rest of the show. And what I will do, I promise you that by next week, Queen Mother will work with that video time after time after time after time and just let it play. It played before, it's not playing now. I'm not going to blame it on technology. I'm going to blame it on me, something that I'm probably not doing properly. So Dennis, if you're tuning in, and all of Dennis' friends and relatives and family, right? Forgive Queen Mother. We'll make sure that it will work for us on next week. Okay, so now we're going to go to our next person today that we'll be featuring on the Queen Mother Speaks show, and her name is SERETI. Let's see if we can bring her up. I'm only getting an echo when I click on her. Do you guys hear the echo? Okay. And so right now, she is not on camera. SERETI, do you want to come out and come back in? Please come out and come back in.
Yeah, I'm here.
No, your camera is not on. Okay, let me try. Ah, she's on another screen. Okay, so you see we have you here twice. So let me see if I can remove this one. Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about SERETI NABAALA. She says, and I quote, I am 25 years old. I was born and bred in Lamech in Masai Mara. I started my school in
Excuse
modern
me.
primary.
Excuse me, Queen. There's an
Yes,
echo. There's a big
I know.
echo.
The echo came in. I don't know what this. SERETI, do you have any electronics on? And if you do,
Pardon?
turn them off. If you have on any electronics, turn them off.
I don't have.
Okay, did you mute your phone?
I'm using my phone for the show.
You're using your phone. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're just going to continue. And we were talking about her schooling. She did her primary level, and she later joined the Moy Girls School in Kericho for her secondary level. Later, she was able to join the University of Nairobi, where she pursued a course in sociology. She is also an FGM activist and a gender equality activist. And she's going to talk to us about that in just a moment. This passion that she has, started when she was in her third year of schooling, and she created a CBO, which is a community-based organization in her village. And with this organization, they mentor young Maasai girls, and they are advocates for the rights of women and girls. And she also does something that's close to my heart, and that is she supplies sanitary pads to the young girls so that she can stop period poverty in her area. Isn't that great? Let's bring her on stage right now. Here we go, sweetheart. Sereti, thank you for being on the Queen Mother Speak Show.
Thank you too.
Okay. Now, when you went to school, well, there are many young girls going to school at the same time.
Okay, when you're asking when I went to my primary school,
Hmm. So, in other words, when you started out in school as a child, were there as many girls as boys, or were there more girls or more boys?
of course there were few girls,
Hmm.
because the moment I was starting school, girls were not girls in my community were not so much regarded, or they were not so much supported to go to school. So when I started school, we were so few. Yeah.
Mm. How do we decide what girls get to go to school and what girls do not?
Pardon?
How how is it decided which girls get to go to school and those who do not?
Okay, by that time, um, most girls were those girls who looked not so sharp, not so much loved, were advised to go to school. But those who were maybe their parents' favorite were not
Hmm.
taken were not taken to school. So those who were taken to school, it was like you were being hated, or you were not so much loved or regarded. So you could be taken to school.
Hmm. My. Okay, well, so now after you finish with your basic form one, two, three, and four, all
Pardon?
right, where did you gain your, let me start over. After you finished with your basic forms one, two, three, and four, where did you get job training?
Pardon?
In other words, you went to school, and then did you get any jobs? How did
Job?
you learn to do the things that you're doing?
Okay, when I just finished, when I was in my third year, I volunteered in a rescue center called Ormalaika,
Mhm.
and there I got some experience. And again, when during the Corona period, I spent most of the time there. So there I got a lot of experience on
Uh-huh.
NGOs and what I'm passionate about. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. So now you formed a CBO
Yeah.
where you are the CEO. Is it called Matsusaru? Tell us about it.
Pardon?
Tell us about your CBO, your
Okay,
community-based organization.
my organization is called Mata Saruntoye. It means let's rescue our girls. It's a community-based organization where I formed when I was still a very young girl. I formed it out of passion and love that I have for my community. And since then, it has been something that has been so much dear to my heart. And we mentor young Maasai girls. We we give sanitary towels to girls. We also we also do FGM. We also do FGM anti-FGM campaigns. But all in all, what really pushed me to start this organization
Mhm.
is the passion that I have for my community, the love that I have for my community. I went to the university and I was asked, do must I go to school? And that really made me feel so bad. And I said that
Mm.
I will not I would love to see a lot of Maasai girls going to school so that people will not be surprised when they see us there. Because for me, my experience in the University of Nairobi was an eye opener to me because
Mhm.
when people will see me, this Maasai girl, they will ask me a lot of questions. Do Maasai do this? Do they do this? So they still do FGM, all the bad things. And that thing really pushed me to start a community-based organization that mentor young girls, that make the young girls know their rights, be proud of themselves, and love themselves as they are. Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm sourcing the problem here. Let's see. We're just trying. Yeah, we're trying to remove. Looks like you had three spaces in the studio, so I'm trying to delete those out. Is this better? Doesn't seem like it. Okay, well, there's an organization that's called the World Health Organization, WHO, and they define FGM as all procedures that involve partial or total removal of the external female genitalia. This includes injury to the female genital organs for non-medical regions. And there are different types of FGM, like type 1, type 2, type 3. Sariti, tell us about your involvement with FGM and how that came about for you.
So for me, I'm a survivor of FGM. I went through FGM at a young age of 12, and it wasn't really a good experience, though it didn't affect me directly at the moment. It affected me later when I came to know the effects of FGM. Because at some point there was a very big campaign in my school of FGM, and I started learning the effects of FGM. And one thing that happened to me is that I started having some trauma. Like I started I started hating myself. I started asking myself a lot of questions, like So how did, like, really, so I have to go through all this. But later I came to accept myself. I healed from all that, and that's how I became an NFGM activist. And I said that my little sister should not go through the same act.
Hmm. So now, do you hold workshops?
Yeah, I do campaigns, we do workshops. Yeah, especially when girls are on holiday and in schools too.
Hmm. Hmm. Have you seen any difference in your community in what happens with
Yeah,
FGM now versus 15 years ago?
of course, yes. There's a lot of change. Like you can see that, like the people have started. They have left the act, and today it's only few people. This generation, there's change of generations too. So the campaign has really worked.
Uh-huh. So are you saying the practice is not as prevalent as it used to be?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we're very good to know about that. Okay, so clearly we're learning that your work in the community is a lot with women, and the women is your passion area. So tell us, how did the sanitary pads come in? And then how did the beadwork come in?
So and sanitary towels. Um, Later we discovered that there's a lot of poverty in my community. I started doing this sanitary campaign during Corona period, and after realizing that a lot of girls were suffering, they were not so open to their mothers. They could not tell their mothers what they are going through, and that is where the act of pads for sex comes in. That is why I started doing this. I realized that when girls are on holiday, most of them are not so open to their parents to tell them that they need sanitary towels. That's why here in my villages, I always give out sanitary towels.
Okay, very good. Very good. Interestingly enough, I also am involved in the sanitary pads. That is a project that Queen Mother takes on annually, and our hope is to distribute the reusable sanitary pads, and we like to do at least 5 villages a year. Let me see if I can bring up my sample to show you what the reusable pad actually looks like. Let's see if I can put my hand on it quick, fast, and in a hurry. Yeah, okay. There's a local company here in Kenya that's called Ahadi. Okay, let's put us on screen so we can see ourselves here. Okay, well, let me just show, I want to show you this one very good. This is called Ahadi, and it is a little packet, and inside is sanitary pads, reusable, okay, sanitary pads. I'll take out one.
Wow.
And the way it works is it has a snap. So the girl literally snaps this. This is the part that goes to her body that collects the liquid. And then she snaps it underneath her underwear, okay? And that's a reusable pad. When you finish with it, you can take it home and soak it in water and reuse it. That's why they're called reusable. And in this case, SERETI, we have 4 sanitary pads in this one little case. We have 4 of these. And we also give out 2 pair of underwear. So each girl gets a little kit. The kit has 4 pads and 2 pair of underwear. Okay, so hopefully at some point we can get some of these pads in your area for your distribution with the girls that you are working with as well. Okay?
Yeah, we'll be
Okay.
so
I
grateful.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do with that. All right. So now tell us about the beadwork.
So we have a program called Win. Win is a program for young mothers.
Hmm.
I I later discovered that we have programs for women empowerment, but young mothers have really been neglected. Young mothers are maybe school dropouts, maybe people who gave birth when they were still young, and most of the time they are not in that category of being women, and also they are not in that category of being young girls since they have already given birth or married off. So they sometimes they are neglected. So we started a program for young mothers in my village where I do WIN program. It's called WIN, Women Inclusion Network, and we do beadwork where we they make these beads like these ones that I'm wearing.
Okay, bring it over some more.
Yeah, I have some here. Like,
Okay.
so it's like most of the time they make these
Wait,
beads.
Sariti, you can't let us see it.
Oh, you
Hold
haven't
it
seen?
up
Okay,
again.
a minute. I'm bringing some.
Okay.
We have this. This is the flag of Kenya.
Okay.
We also have necklaces like this. This is a necklace beaded. So
Okay.
after beading this, we look for market here in Kenya and sometimes even out of Kenya. Since we are in Masai Mara and there are so many tourists around, they sell for tourists. And sometimes even we look for markets outside. And it's a
Okay.
very new program that I just started this year, and it's really faring on well. And we've seen the fruits. Like these young mothers are now independent, they can afford some personal items since they can
Very
sell
good.
this and get some money. It's a good project, it can sustain them. Yeah, yeah, like we've seen the fruits and they're really grateful.
Okay, how
We
can we
also
buy from your ladies?
I you can I can maybe you can follow our page on Mata Sarun Toye where you
Okay, will
can
you type
contact.
your email address or your website or the phone
Yeah, we
number
have
to
an.
purchase in the chat?
Okay, yeah, I
And
can. I
I'll,
will do that.
okay, and then I'll make sure we post it before the show is over.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
do that, and we've seen them being economically empowered. They have known how to save since we teach them savings. Yeah, and we also teach them and some entrepreneurship skills. Yeah.
Oh, this is so great. Okay, so you'll tell us about where we can purchase the product. How many women is in your group?
So right now I have cohort 1 and cohort 2. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
we cohort 1 is about to graduate. Uh,
Okay.
Maybe they'll be graduating late. We are not yet a bit sure. But cohort 1 and cohort 2, both of them are 30, since we always take 15-15, so that
Mm-hmm.
we can do good monitoring. We can
Mm-hmm.
know each one individually. Since we do a whole program, like we teach them on self-esteem, some skills. It's really wide, yeah.
This is wonderful. Be sure that you place
Even
in the
sexual
chat
reproductive health.
information so we can post it. So we can post it and it'll go all over all of our social media channels how to contact you. Why don't you just give me the phone number now?
My phone number
Yeah, for people want to buy product.
0706 606
Okay. 0706
606
again
311.
0706
606
606
311. Or you can also
311.
you can also email us on matasaruntoye.
You can type that one out for us and we'll put it on the screen a little later, but I want to show them right now. They want to purchase some of the pieces that you only gave us a few seconds to look at. Is that right?
I can I
Is
have
that number
some.
correct?
Yeah, it is.
Very good. So we'll be posting it during the week as well. And she's going to give us her website and we'll put it here as well. So you can take a look at the various items that she has. We're going to come back to you, Sariti. But right now we want to go to our second guest in the studio. And I just met him, in fact, this week. And I was so excited to hear about him and to read about him. This young man is called Maison, Mr. Maison. All right. He is a poet, an activist, and an indigenous land rights campaigner. A man from the Masai people of Kenya and Tanzania. He's the founder of a local nonprofit, Imbuga, and he'll pronounce that for you properly. But he also gets involved with, he's an advocate for quality education, environmental conservation, and the plight of SGBV issues in the rural community. Mason is also a writer, okay? And he says through his writings, he likes to agitate and he likes to amplify issues on social justice, especially on the issues of land rights and indigenous rights. He's also a citizen journalist, using his writing and photography to amplify issues. And I like this word. He said, bedeviling the society around and also highlighting on the people doing things right in his community. He said he's also a griot and a cultural connoisseur for his culture. He deals with the folklore of the Maasai people, and hopefully we'll get to talking about that a little bit more. Okay, let's bring him on right now to meet everybody. And like I say, I went through his website myself, and when I went to his website and I read about him, I'm like, oh my, yes, yes, yes. Thank you for being on the show today. Pronounce your entire name for us first.
MAISON is a Masai name,
Okay.
and it is MAISON.
Yeah, I got the spelling. I just wanted to
Yeah,
hear the right pronunciation.
MAISON NKURRUNAH.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. So now, you were born and bred in the Mara. Were you also schooled there?
No, not really. I'm from Narok North, which is a couple of miles away from the Mara,
Okay.
nearer to where Narok town is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I relate much to where I come from because I've been traveling all over Masailand. Masailand goes down from the central Kenya down to central Tanzania.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah.
were you aware early on, as you were completing your formal education, were you aware that writing would be your chosen communication weapon?
I've always felt like I've been a good writer since I was young.
Uh-huh.
Um, I've had my compositions read at the assembly while I was very young, so I felt like writing would always be a part of me and a part of what I'd be doing.
I see. I see. We're going to talk about some of the stories in the poetry, but before we go there, I want to ask you, how did you become an activist?
Um, a couple of years back while I was in the university, we had this eviction notice of the Masai people of Tanzania, a place called Loliondo.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw it in the news, because they're in Tanzania, we're in Kenya, I was in campus then. It really hurt because when people are being interviewed and they're speaking of their ancestral land being taken away, that thing touched me, and I felt like I should do something about it. And
Mm-hmm.
since then, I've been talking about those issues: land and people, ancestral land, people's land being taken away by government and by big corporations. I've been talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been doing a little reading after I read about you, my dear friend. You are a land activist is one who protects the ecosystems and human right to safe, healthy environments. Now, this activism in your blood, did you have family members or were there other mentors, right, who was into this to pique your interest?
Yeah, one of my mentors is a man called Moitame Ololdapash.
Mm-hmm.
He's a renowned environmentalist. He's a professor. I think he even taught in the university in Prescott College in Arizona, I think. And he inspired me because he's my mentor. He's one of my mentors. And after following him for a while, I realized that it is worth fighting for because he's fighting for the right cause.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
not directly my family, but people around me.
Okay, very well. Tell us about how indigenous people are struggling to maintain their legal rights to the land and the territory and resources.
I'd like to speak about the Masai people. The Masai people, their indigeneity comes from being one of the most reserved communities, most conservative communities. As my friend Sereti tried to talk about, she told you about education and how it's still a big issue with our people, and that people have to be convinced to take their kids to school. And the land rights issue is because land wasn't owned by anyone, by the Masai community, the traditional setup of the community. Land was owned by everyone. And when
Mm-hmm.
governments came along, the capitalist system that we got from the British colonial system, they subdivided land into private land, and that has messed up everything. And that's why communities remain poor. Their land is being taken by corporations and by the government and subdivided. So it's a very tough task that we are taking on.
Mm. So now, given how long have you been doing this?
Almost 6, 7 years now.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Can we
um,
tell us about, are there any land disputes or resources available to the people that you, as an activist, have been able to make come into being?
right now we have land that was we was owned by British or former colonial families. Like in here where I come from in Narok North, and that land was reverted back to the community, but the government is holding it in trust right now. And we
Mm.
also have had last year we were arrested. I was one of the 3 people arrested. We demonstrated against the removal of the Maasai from the ancestral lands in Tanzania, and the court upheld some of the lands as owned rightfully by the Maasai people. And I feel like I made a statement, and my friends also made a statement in the same demonstration.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Um, how big is your organization? Like, wait, before we go there, talk to us about some of your writings and writings of the traditional, the traditions of the people.
My writings, I'm a published poet. I have my first collection is called I Am Writing an Elegy by the River Siapei and Other Poems.
Mm.
And as you know, an elegy is a sad song. So it's full of sad songs, I'm talking about all the issues that we have as a community, issues to do with land, issues to do with leadership, issues to do with lack of necessary social organizations because of modernity and everything that comes with modernity. And
Hmm.
my writings are how I speak, and I feel like I'll continue to write about problems. People call me a lamentation poet, and
Wait,
I'm
wait,
okay
people
with it.
call you what?
A lamenting or a lamentation poet.
Oh my, I like that. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can we
Sorry.
hear one of your poems?
Yes, sure. I can read you a piece of my poetry.
Okay.
So this one is called Ngorongoro is Burning. And Ngorongoro is one of the pieces of land that was taken from the Masai by the Tanzanian government. So I'll read a piece of it.
Okay.
So we are nursing a compressed debris of our battered souls, infernos tearing down our beautiful identity, our beautiful ways and the beautiful smiles on our faces being raised, the pain of loss of our picturesque plains, as they forcefully take away our land, as they take away our land from the grip of our bleeding hands, as conservation tears into our fragility, and yes, they have got no civility, turning us into squatters with their totalitarian mind control government. This is where our Irmasin are buried. This is where our ancestors rest, turning restlessly in their earthly mausoleums and silently in their resting places, staring in distaste and shame as they desecrate our Irpuli law Ilmoran. Um,
Mm.
that is just a snippet from a very long poem, a very long sad poem,
Okay. Okay.
and I have used some.
Can we hear another one? Can we hear
Yes,
another one?
yes. So this one is called "We Shall Rise Again."
Mm.
We have been through the tempests, and our hearts have been troubled. Our rights trampled on like the pavements of lies that they lay in our minds. The bridges that they have built, constantly raised in the same spirit, lest we use them to cross over to a better future, lest we see the horizon far beyond, lest we believe again, lest we repair our wings and fly, lest we regain our lost hope. Our hope is like a tattered cloth on a weary and worn out body, a candle out there in the wide open plains that is denied the chance to share its light to the world. We are reduced to a tired but defiant soul, a heart that beats even when there is no more reason to continue living. We are reduced to nothing but the audience in our own life story, stuck on the periphery and waiting for the curtains to fall just like the state of the economy, waiting for our sighs of displeasure and hopelessness to rise high like the levels of poverty within our homesteads. Though we go through this valley of the shadow of death, our hearts do not falter, our minds are not deterred, our faith in a better tomorrow is still strong, stronger than the embers of a bonfire in the night of a windy season. Our eyes shine bright and with hope and expectation, brighter than the moonlight on a clear November night. Our hope shall live forever, through us and through others like us.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell us what you meant when you wrote that poem.
Um, the Maasai community is one of the, one, if you read in history, when the colonialists came along in 1895, 1890s, they tried a lot to dominate and fight the Maasai because they are a very fierce community. They have warriors, and they were one of the biggest um, uh, problem that the British faced in Kenya.
Mhm.
And that poem is showing that we shall be back someday because we are fighting to be back there because they have had us under the toes for more than 160 years now.
Is it?
Because there are so many colonial treaties that were signed that has forced the Maasai into a weak people. It has forced us to be weak because of all those treaties that were signed then. They took our land, they destocked the Maasai, and that is what I'm addressing in that point. It's about hope.
I see. Mm. Very good, very good. I would like to invite you back to the show as well as Sariti. All right, she showed us her jewelry, but showed it so fast I didn't even get to see which piece I wanted to buy. So we'll have to do that again. All right, but I want to have you back. I want you to talk a little bit more about the land issues, right? So people will know because these are things that's going on. Queen Mother Speaks is a show that deals with issues that matter. And this is an issue that matters. Okay, we want to hear more about it. Um, what would you like to leave us with today, knowing that we're going to have you back again?
Um, I'd love to say thank you for giving me this platform, and I'll be back. We need to talk more.
Okay.
So this is a healthy platform for discussion. Thank you.
Well, what I want you to know, Mason, is that this actually is your platform. It's called Queen Mother Speaks. Anytime you got a message that you want to get out, just let us know. This particular broadcast is for the people, by the people. So when you've got a word you want to get out when something's trending and you want to get the word out more, let Queen Mother know. We'll bring you on and we can speak and we can show and we can talk about. And even sometimes when you may be in session, we can come up and film some of that too so people can see what you're doing there in the land reform area. Such a young man. And I'm so happy you've taken an interest in this area because I know the importance of land. You see, as an African American, taken from the continent of Africa and brought to a strange land where we had to do a lot of work, where we shed a lot of blood and a lot of tears and a lot of hard work in a country called America. Okay. So I'd like for you to fill us in more on what's happening with the Maasai community because people around the world are interested in you. They do want to know what you're doing and where you are. And as far as your poetry work, I like to read some of it. I would even like sometime to share some of it on the show and say that is from your writings.
Yeah.
We're going to take a few mentions today. We're very much nearing the 6 o'clock hour, but we just want to do a few, just a very, 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 very few mentions. And one is democratsabroad.org. Democratsabroad.org. Are you a Democrat living abroad? If so, visit democratsabroad.org and sign on and get involved so you too can be a part of this new upcoming election. You see, as an American voter living abroad, there's a lot of trumped up politics in the US, and they are affecting both me and you. So, yes, check out www.democratsabroad.org. I'd like to also make mention of Miss Aisha Defala, who is Kenya's blood ambassador, and she reminds you and me to make sure that we deposit blood at a depository near you because we all need blood, no matter what country we're in. Okay, I'll just make mention of a brand new show called Changing Inclusive Perspectives. It is a show, Mason, that is by and for people with disabilities and marginalized people. So I'm going to talk to you about that and getting some people on that show as well. Okay, just a few more announcements coming up on next week on the Queen Mother Speak show. We're going to have Winnie, and she'll be talking on teen moms and the work that she's done in that community. And Jane will be here next week, and she'll be present to us her business. And her business is the rabbit business. She has a business dealing with rabbit poo. Yeah, you heard it right. Her business is dealing with rabbit poo. So I'm going to find out from her, what is rabbit poo used for? We know what rabbits are used for. What is rabbit poo used for? We want to take this moment again to thank our guests for being in the studio. Thank you, Coach Ra, for coming in and being with us today. Mason, we thank you. Looks like SERETI has stepped away, but we thank her too for being on the Queen Mother Speak show. We're going to end the show the way we always do, and we end the show with love. And the way we do that is we take our left hand, we throw a kiss, right hand, throw a kiss, then both hands, and we throw a kiss. And we're going to do it together on the count of 3. Are we ready? Okay, let's start. With the left hand first. Right hand. And then both hands. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we thank God for you. This is the Queen Mother Speaks show every Wednesday, every week, live at 5. Please tune in. Please tune in. Thank you, Mason. And thank you, Coach Ra. It's been a great show. Shalom. Shalom. Queen Mother. Psst.